Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So wonderful. Today we are going to talk about something which is not relevant to you, but it will be relevant after some time. The subject is aging gracefully. See, all of us, we keep on complaining about the old age. Although I am addressing a lot of youngsters and the middle-aged people, I know you have to be older after some time. So it is good for you so that you can prepare for the old age. But how can you really age gracefully? Okay, so that's the most important thing. Now, I will not spend much time on this particular slide. So we say 6 ethics of life. This is what I call the Shraddha. See, before you pray any prayer, believe. Don't do it like a mechanical act. You must have a Shraddha. Then whatever I am praying, I think I will get it. This is a question of the belief. The next is, before speaking, you have to listen. When you are talking about the communication skill, it is not only talking, but listening is more important. So before spending, yearn. Today what is happening? You are able to spend money on somebody's earning, which is not good. Initially it is fine, but before spend, then you have to earn. You know the value of the earning. Then before writing, you must think. Then before quitting anything you want to do, try once again. See, this is the secret. Now, this particular last one is relevant for today's session called Before You Die, Live. Most of us, we don't live. Okay, when the fear ends, the life begins. When the fear ends, life begins. See, before you die, live. A person who has lived very well, he will never bother about the death. He has lived fully. Okay. See, a lot of people used to complain about the old age. See, I went to some of the senior citizen home, spent about 10 days giving an interview with a lot of, the older people. One of the most important complaint is about the whole thing is about the old age and the loneliness. Okay. Now, what do you mean by that? See, everybody know we are going to become old. And every second, the cell in the body is keep on changing. That means one cell dies and one more cell born. See, that means there is a lot of, changes without our understanding. Now they say, don't complain about growing old. Many people did not have the privilege of complaining. Okay, it's a beautiful word, isn't it? I always used to tell people who is complaining about the old age, he says, so many of the people died, young. Now you have got the privilege. You cannot complain. Enjoy. once you are able to enjoy, that means you will never complain. Because many people did not have the privilege of complaining. Okay. Now, for example, this old age, there is like a loop. When I say the loop, what do you mean by that? You start with a kind of a depression, anxiety, stress, fear, and also the loneliness. So many factors. Now, how can you really overcome? See, to overcome or overpower, that means you have to understand what is the cause. Why I have the fear? Why I have the depression? Why I have a kind of a loneliness? Once you are able to understand, you will be a master. Okay. Now I am going to explain to you about a particular concept like a FeDeReL. For you to understand, so it is a kind of a acrimonium, so that you can understand. Okay, what do you mean by FeDeReL? Okay. See, for example, lot of people complaining about the old age. And all the youngsters, all the middle-aged people, you have to become a old person after some time. Then why don't you prepare right now? Try to understand. For that, you have to really enjoy when you are living. They always say, forget about aging gracefully. Focus instead of aging gratefully. What a powerful statement. See, if you are grateful, then you will be graceful. Now, this is what we keep on telling about the, count your blessings. Now, there are people with the age of 90, 95, all of them, okay, they did not know how to count their blessings. Now, there are some people who are very grateful and they are very happy. So, just make you to understand. You have to understand. Forget about aging gracefully. What we are talking now. Okay. But focus on the aging gratefully. You must be grateful for every act that you are receiving. Okay. Now, when I say FeDeReL, what is the meaning of this particular one? We say the short form, FE, the fear. Now, why do you have the fear? It is a common thing. Now, animals also have the fear. And we also have the fear. Now, the people, the human being, try to understand why I am getting this fear. The root cause of the problem. Why? Because lot of the anxiety in the future. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Most of the times, nothing will happen. So, out of 100 things, what do you expect? Okay, 1 or 2 things will happen. So that means, why do you have too much of fear? Okay, everybody has got the fear. It must be a controlled fear. That means, I know that it is my nature to have a fear. Now, try to go into the root cause. Then, over a period of time, you will be able to understand why I am getting this kind of a fearfulness. That is okay. Now, afterwards, what happens? The depression. Now, I never heard this word when I am young. Now, whenever I am talking to the young boys in a school at the age of 10 or 12, they are talking about the depression. Now, what do you mean by depression? Now, I don't want to give you too much of information about this particular one. I am expecting certain things. I don't get it. Then I get depressed. So, what is the root cause? Now, you have to understand, you have got the capacity only to contribute, but you cannot control. The root cause of the depression is the expectation. Now, once you are able to understand, yes, see, I can have a 100% choice to contribute, but I got a 0% in the controlling of the event. Now, once you are able to understand, yes, there must be depression. Okay, that will be the low and high of life. Now, if you are able to get a kind of samatvam, see that means you will not get it, but you are able to understand and be able to deal the problem. The next is, the regret. Now, we always have a lot of regret about the past and also the future for the anxiety. Now, we are having a kind of a problem. That means I'm always regretful of the past and also the anxiety of the future. Now, it is something like a pendulum. It is keep on, going, That means between the regret and the anxiety. Now, how can you do that? That is why our scriptures keeps on telling you have the capacity to contribute, but you have no control on the results. Okay. The last one is the loneliness. So what do you mean by loneliness? Very difficult to explain. Right? Now, when I was talking to a lot of people, in the senior citizen home, one of the most powerful thing that is coming is one is loneliness. Why? Because they won't have a kind of a company. Now, I'm just trying to kind of suggest all the youngsters. Now, over a period of time, you have to develop a kind of a habit. I must have a kind of a loneliness within myself. Suppose if I am not able to enjoy my own company, then how can other people enjoy my company? So you must be with yourself. That is why it really helps you. Okay, now I am always able to try to understand. Okay, I come alone, I am going alone. So whatever that I am having a kind of a relationship in between is only temporary. Can I repeat once again? See, I come alone, I go alone. Okay, see, both of them are absolutely the fact. Okay, but whatever I am getting in between the birth and the death, they are all temporary. So I know about it. Okay, now what happens? Once you are able to understand that over a period of time, you will be alone. Nobody can take your pain. You cannot take your regret. Okay, you have to understand. So over a period of time, you try to understand. Yes, although I am young, so I am going to become old. Now let me prepare right now. Be on your own for some time. Now today people cannot do without an iPhone. What will happen? They will forget about everything. Okay, that means can you do without the iPhone for a few minutes, for hours, or a few days? It all depends upon the attitude of a person. Okay, so it's beautiful. Now I would like to impress about this particular one. He said, those who love deeply. What do you mean by that? Love is unconditional. A person who is able to do it deeply in all his reaction, that means they will never become old. Okay, so they will die of old age, but they die young. So I know a lot of people. Okay, at the age of even 30, they become old. There are some people at the age of 95, they are quite young. Now it's a question of the attitude. It is a kind of a mindset. What you have to understand is particular one. Aging gracefully. Summing up, that means we are able to count your blessings. If you are grateful for every activity you are getting in this world, that means you will be absolutely aging gracefully. Okay. Now I also want to share some of my experience. See, when I talk to people, the old people, so I am also old. I am also old. That means when I am talking to people, one of the most important thing, the real challenge is the loneliness. So nobody is talking to me, isn't it? I am alone. I helped so many people. Nobody is coming to me, isn't it? So it is fact of life. When you are young, you are absolutely busy. Okay, and your body was able to cooperate. When you are old, your mind is very active, but unfortunately your body will not cooperate. Now, why don't you try to accept this fact in life also? Okay. Now, the only thing is, when I met Sri R. Venkataraman, the former President of India, and he is our Chief Patron of SHN Institute. I had a very nice discussion with him. I had a lunch with him. I spent a lot of time. Then I was very curious to understand how he is able to manage at the age of even 98. He was able to write properly. He is able to talk very well. He's got a lot of, the kind of the curiosity. Then when I casually asked him, he said, how you are able to manage? You know what he said? It's powerful. He said, see, keep your mind very active. Keep your mind very active in a very positive way. See, you can be very active in a very negative way. So the most important thing, you must be able to try to keep your mind in a very positive way. I know some of the people, whenever you meet them, so what is that I can do for you? I can do it for you. It's very amazing. And there are some people, they'll always, when I meet them, what is that I can get from him? Okay, this is kind of the mindset. When I met Dr. Juran, the guru of a quality in US, okay, in his office, along with Prakash Venkatesan, I was amazed to see his, the dynamism and also the outlook of his life. So when I was talking to you for nearly about 1.5 hours, and I was interviewing him, and at the end of this, I asked him, so how did you manage at your age? He said, it is a question of your longing to do something to the society. Okay, so what is that I understood is that if your mind is very active in a very positive way, question of the age doesn't matter. So I got one more person. His name is, HRS Rao. He is one of my peers in the quality movement. He is 96. An amazing person. And he was very cheerful. Whenever I asked him, how are you, Mr. Rao? He said, I am very fine. I am enjoying. How do you spend your time? Yeah, I am just trying to contribute. And even at the age of 95, he is very active. But the body is not cooperating. But he is doing a fantastic job. Now, why I am giving this kind of an example is to make you to understand the age has got its own the problem. Okay, under so many challenges. But how can you live very well even at this particular age? That makes all the difference. Okay. So I wish you all the best. Prepare for your old age and do it in a very small way. Okay. And I am sure if you are able to live and love deeply, that means there is no old age. You may die with the old age, but you will die young. I wish you all the best. Okay? Take care. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.